What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Raven. Here on YouTube, I basically talk about all things wellness, design, and everyday life, which if you're old, you like that new intro, y'all. I know. So I'm back. I know I say this every single time that I disappear for 10 months, but for real, I had to spend a lot of time really doing some soul searching since my last couple of videos, and so much has changed, which actually inspired this video. Really just talking about operating without fear, y'all, because that is something that I honestly can truly say I've been doing for the last year and a half. It's just being in this whole different space with the climate of the world, things going on, and so I just wanted to share like my story, a few tips to help y'all. Throughout this video, I'm just going to talk about like fear itself and kind of tell you guys my story. So honestly, for me, as you guys know, I had to move back in with my parents once I had a good old-fashioned job. Moved back in with my parents. I've been here for about 3 years now. At this point, was saving up to move out, get an apartment. You know, things fell through with that. It just didn't feel like the right time, honestly. It just didn't feel right. And so I stayed a little bit longer. Planned again to move out last year, and then COVID happened, and like some health stuff with my family happened, and I was like, okay, I need to be home. So it's just been a season of like one thing after another, and I've also quit my job. Yes, I quit my job. So let's talk about it. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell y'all to quit your job, take the leap, all of that good stuff. I will tell you to have faith in yourself and have faith, but I quit my job with no money like saved up. I mean, I had money saved up, obviously I was paying off debt, but I didn't plan to quit my job, if that makes sense. So with that being said, for those that do or do not know, I run a design business. I was running it as a side hustle for about, I guess that the time I quit was July of 2020. So I was running that business for about 4 or 5 years, just side hustles, and I really got serious about it in 2019. Well, it's 2021. I got serious about it in 2019 and basically told myself that I was going to like really make it a business, really do that thing, right? So I'm still working at this corporate job, making, you know, money also with my side hustle, and I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. I hated having to really check in with people, especially when health started happening, because it was like COVID on top of like cancer hit my family. So it was like that everything was back to back at once, and so I was in this space where I was just like, oh my god, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, like I'm unhappy in this role, I need to stay here to make money. Like, can I really make money in my job full time? And the answer is yes. You know, like if y'all are out here really wondering if you can make full money and really be successful, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I'm like a 6-figure entrepreneur or anything like that, because I'm not yet. But what I will say is, like, the first month of quitting my job, I hit 5 figures, but I was also exhausted. I was burnt out. I was so tired. I was exhausted, y'all. Like, this was not me getting, you know, 3-4 big figure clients. I was working with maybe like 10 people just to like make ends meet, on top of getting a part-time job at that time for a marketing agency and doing all of these other things. So I was exhausted, y'all. So you know, it made me realize that like I operated from a place of passion and really outside of fear, and understood that the idea of fear was really within the mind. Because to be honest, while I was exhausted, this story is not about that. I'll maybe tell y'all about that in another video, but while I was exhausted in it, I realized that I really am doing what I set out to do, because I let go of this idea that I couldn't do it, I couldn't pursue my goals. And I feel like for me, my fear was really this whole idea of a fear of failure within like my family construct, failure within how I perceive myself, and like what the idea of success looks like. And I had to really unlearn a lot of shit. Like, I'm in my late 20s now, which sounds so crazy to say, late 20s, but I'm in my late 20s now, and it's like life comes at you fast, but you really have to make sure that you are in a position where you are prepared to act on faith, and you can't allow anything or anyone to stand in the way of that. So all of this to say is that I wanted to share like a few exercises that you can do to help you with your fear. Now I will say this, even though I have fear of simple things like when I first quit my job, or you know, fear of public speaking, which is why I started doing YouTube, to be honest, was because I really was passionate about certain topics, and I was like, I want to get better at public speaking. So you know what I did? Started making YouTube videos. Granted, I was not consistent, but I started, and that's the point. I feel like when you operate from a place of fear, you do not allow yourself to really take risk or really look at certain things. So it's really a mindset shift. You have to allow yourself to operate from a place of, you know, abundance, and a place of knowing that you can really do what it is that you set your mind to do. And that's exactly what I did. So yeah, so for me, the fear was failure. What did I do in terms of my job? I made sure that I was working. I set financial goals for myself each month, and I made sure that I hit those goals, and I did certain things that I could in order to reach those. You just really have to sit down and think to yourself, like, one, why am I feeling this way? Two, what is the worst that could happen? Like, I think that's really the biggest key that I've realized is, like, the world is like this huge scary place, but at the same time, like, what is the worst that could happen if you really followed your dreams? What's the worst that could happen if you really like did it? Because if you don't, all you're gonna do is sit here with regret, you know. So for me, it was like, why don't I just do this? Because it's something I've always wanted to do. Do I want to be some big like influencer or anything like that? No. I'm happy with my business. I love being an entrepreneur. Not shading anyone that does these videos, but for me, it's about improving my public speaking skills, and also because I'm very introverted. A lot of people say they're introverted, but y'all, I'm so introverted, I didn't make any videos for months. Like, me making one video took so much out of me. Like, it took a lot out of me. And one of my old managers from a previous job, actually, because she saw that and how I was and interacted with people, like, it was kind of bad, y'all. Like, I'm introverted, but I'm extrovert, I don't know. But she basically sat me down and told me, you know, how introverted people basically have to like go separate places and recharge. So in a way, that was like another way that I kind of coped with like fear of certain things. So with fear of like dealing with or engaging with certain people, like, I literally just separated myself, recharged, and went out there and did the best that I had to do, because I knew that that's what I want. Alright guys, so the last tip that I want to leave you with is know that action dissolves fear. Know that once you have this idea that once you take forth action and you realize that it completely removes all fear, you will see the world in a whole new light. It's almost like, for me, I love taking risks in terms of like doing stuff like bungee jumping, skydiving. I will do all that stuff in a heartbeat. Like, even when I jumped off the stratosphere in Vegas, I didn't second guess it because I love doing things like that. And I feel like when you are in that moment, you're literally taking action. I mean, literally, I'm jumping off a building. There's nothing else I could do at that point. Really, there isn't. But when you're taking risks as far as like small steps in everyday life, all you have to do is take action. If you feel like you have this fear of failure, sit down, write out what it is that you want to do, what's the worst that can happen, and what action steps are you going to take to get there. So yeah, with all that said, I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please make sure that you give it a like, a thumbs up, or subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.